What's good? It's your boy Neach Falcon, aka Neach Nancy, aka Neach Noodles. Hit you in your oodles, and we back with another one. So today we gonna be talking about them files, man. And you know what's going on with them files. I ain't even gonna say the name because I don't know how YouTube gonna flag the video or do things like that. So this first video right here is a video of Mr. E. We gonna just call him Mr. E. If you know, you know. Um, in the kitchen, running around chasing little girls. Allegedly. Everything we gonna use allegedly for all of this shit, cause I don't got no time, bro. Like I don't know what's up with the why is this shit like let's see, I'm gonna put it full screen. Nah, we don't I can't put it full screen. It's just you can see they even cut out some of the audio too, like you can hear it as the video's going on. So these black blocks, right, are like the victims and allegedly, victims. Um, yeah. Yo, I'm not laughing because the situation is funny. I'm just laughing because like they got black blocks. Like he's chasing like black blocks. It's just that's funny to me. Like, but okay. So as we know already, this man he's on weirdo timing. You feel me? He's definitely on weirdo timing. He's on some weird chasing kids in the kitchen shit. Bro, these new file leaks, man. I think it's like 3 million pages, if I'm not mistaken, released. Bruh, this shit is just crazy. But it's stuff we already pretty much knew. Like if you've been around for let's say if you like at least 18 and up, not even that, 15 and up. If you're like 15 years old and up, you probably already know the leaders of our nation and the leaders of this world on some weird, corrupt timing. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't exclude anybody. I feel like allegedly. You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility where everybody that has a certain amount of money, certain amount of power, and a certain amount of influence in this world that we live in, definitely have some connections to this or some type of influence in these type of spaces. And that's just allegedly, It's not every single um it's definitely not every single celebrity. It's not every single rich person. of course, but it might be. You can connect the dots, you know. And it's in a certain threshold, and it's not even a certain threshold of only money. It's a certain threshold of influence that you have in your respected space. So, say even if let's even if you're a boxer, let's put a boxer, right? If you're a boxer, you have a certain level of money, certain level of influence. You're gonna have to get in bed with these people and you know, do what you got to do to keep that certain level of power and influence, and keep on moving up, and keep being protected, and keep having opportunities and things of that nature. With great power and great influence comes corruption. They're all connected. But let's get to the next video. This is, let me know what y'all think about this video, first of all. Let me know who y'all think is involved, what y'all think is allegedly going on. Um, Even though we have video proof right here of what Epstein was doing. Let me know if y'all still think Epstein is alive, because I didn't want to say his name in like within the first 5 minutes of the video. Also, I don't want to say his name too much in my video because I don't know how the algorithm treats his name. So what I'll say is there's a possibility he's still alive, bro. That's how I feel. There's a possibility he's still alive. There's a possibility he's still just somewhere with his millions. His death could have been a cover up, all that, because we heard about things like this for years, whether it be just so many people, like even just recently with Cat Williams, right? When Cat Williams talked about everything is gonna come to light in his interview with Shannon Sharp, right? And everything is coming to light. It seems like Babylon is falling. If y'all don't know what Babylon is, look up Babylon. They say America is the new Babylon, you know? If y'all don't know what that is, look into Babylon, look into the connection of Babylon. Even if you want to go biblically, look at Sodom and Gomorrah. If like it's so many like different instances. Look at the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire. Um, it's like history repeats itself time and time again, and I feel like America is the new Babylon, the new Sodom and Gomorrah, the new Holy Roman Empire, where it's getting to a point where what they're doing is becoming no longer sustainable, and people are waking up, because a lot of people, we can know what's going on, but we always worried about our lives. You know, we worried about what we're going through, how we got to pay bills, how we got to keep getting our money, things of that nature. Like, even me, I didn't even want to make a video on this topic because people are even getting sued, getting persecuted, going to jail just for speaking on this shit, or just for being against our administration right now. You feel me? So I'm gonna choose my words wisely and how I speak about these things, and always use the word allegedly. But allegedly, America is the new Holy Roman Empire, new Babylon, new Sodom and Gomorrah. Look up those things, and you're gonna see the connections in to America, to those ancient civilizations. Now, I think it's just a whole bunch of people involved in this thing. And am I surprised? I'm not surprised. We all been hearing stories about like little leaks, whether you're into conspiracy theories. It's not no longer conspiracy anymore. It's just getting more factual and more factual as time goes on. But let me know what y'all think about the situation. What y'all think our elite are doing in this country. Just how y'all feel about it. You can watch the video one more time. You let it play. Okay. Yes. This shit is weird, bro. It is what it is. But let's get to the next part of the video. All right, so this is from ABC News. Let's watch this video.
To the fallout from the latest release of the Jeffrey Epstein documents, they include communications
3 million pages of Epstein's records released.
between the rich and powerful, from the co-owner of an NFL team to billionaires like Elon Musk. And tonight, the newly released photos of Britain's former Prince Andrew. Here's ABC's investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, the fallout continues as new details emerge from the millions of newly released Justice Department records on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Today, we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
Including this stunning, never-before-seen prosecution memo and draft indictment written nearly 2 decades ago. Prosecutors in Florida detailing the disturbing evidence they gathered against the financier, calling him a continued danger to the community based upon his continued enticement of underage girls. But that 60-count indictment never filed. Instead, Epstein landing the now infamous deal allowing him to plead guilty to lesser state prostitution charges, for which he served just 13 months in a Florida jail. Upon his release, Epstein free to enjoy a jet-setting lifestyle and access to the rich and famous, until his 2019 arrest. These messages from 2013 show Epstein connecting New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch with various women. In one exchange, Tisch asked about a woman only identified as M, writing, "Curious to know about M, pro or civilian." In another, Epstein informed Tisch about a microbiology student in Florida who he said was interested in meeting, advising Tisch to, quote, "make it clear that you will organize her ticket." In a statement, Tisch acknowledging a, quote, "brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women," but saying, "I did not take him up on..."
This is crazy, son. Look at these dudes, bro. This is all old, white, nasty looking. How they even still get it up? They using that Viagra? Like, what's going on here, man? They using that blue pill. They using them blue chews, you heard? They probably got something even stronger than that. I ain't gonna lie. They got that munyon for the funyon. With with allegedly, you know, with allegedly um women, as they say.
On any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with. Known Epstein associate.
And then look how it gets. And look how it gets. They all just throw each other under the bus. When the shit hits the fan, they all gonna throw each other under the bus. He was a terrible human, but he wasn't a terrible human when you was emailing him, right? When you was setting up the little the funyon dates for the munyon dates. He wasn't a terrible person then, right? This shit is crazy.
It's like the former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein, back in the spotlight as well, with the release of these photos showing him crouched over a young woman. The date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment.
Like, what is son doing, bro? What if this guy? What if this girl was like literally just like incapacitated with some type of drug or things like that, and he's doing all of this weird shit? They just all freaky old white dudes, bro. And I'm sure it's not only white dudes. I'm sure it's all races involved in this shit. All powerful people from all nations, all all probably the UN, the United Nations, NATO. Like they at the top of the food chain. But there's another food chain under it where it's our celebrities, our musicians, our actors, actresses, our fashion designers. Now they're gonna try to get the streamers. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna keep trickling down and trickling down. The heads of our agencies, our city and state agencies, like this shit, man. Like you know what's up already. It's like it's just like if you have any common sense, any type of brain, like that's how I feel. Like unless you don't have a brain or you're complicit in this type of stuff, then you know what's going on, and you probably been known what's going on. All I see and saying that Epstein basically he's like a spy for Israel. You know how Israel runs our country basically. We like United States is not really ran by the United States, it's ran by Israel for some reason. But this is most likely the reason because they have a lot of blackmail and a lot of images, messages, and other evidence of powerful people in compromising positions that they don't want to be seen in. So it's, it's just crazy. So that's why Israel really runs our country, you know?
Also in the documents, numerous unverified tips and unsubstantiated allegations against powerful figures in politics, finance, and entertainment, including President Trump, claims the Department of Justice says are unfounded and false.
There's this mantra out there.
Unfounded and false. Listen, I'm not going to speak on Trump because he's suing everybody. He's getting people arrested and stuff like that. But like I said, if you have a brain, any way to think for yourself, you know, you know what's going on. And just like any job, right? Jobs aren't only paying you for what you could do, they're paying for your obedience. So the same way Trump appointed all of these people as Supreme Court justices, the same way he's trying to subpoena and indict those who oppose him, he's basically creating a dictatorship. If you got any type of, like I said, if you got any type of brain and a way to think for yourself and any type of critical thinking skills, you know what's going on. Allegedly. Let's say allegedly after that, but you know what's going on. And then the people, those that don't want to oppose him or don't have, well, they do have critical thinking skills. I don't think none of these people are dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I think they know when to play dumb for their daddy because they know daddy gonna spank that bottom, and the daddy is being Trump right now. For right now, while he's in office, their daddy is Trump, and they don't want to get spanked by daddy. They don't want to get that little. You don't want to go to jail. You want to keep making money. You want to keep this and this. So Trump, Trump, Trump has very powerful relationships with all of the people at the head of our government right now. And if he didn't have powerful relationships with these people at the head of our government, he will remove them and place the people he wants in those powerful positions in order to cover his own self, which is smart on his end, but it's corrupt, allegedly, you know, but it's very corrupt. And like I said, if you got anything critical thinking skills, any type of brain, you know what's going on. So, but let's get through the
that,
rest of this.
the Department of Justice is supposed to protect Donald J. Trump. And that's what we were telling. That's not true. That was never the case. We are always concerned about the victims.
But some of Epstein's victims
We are always concerned about the victims. Yeah, y'all believe him? Y'all believe him? How much you think he gets paid? Look at whatever his name was. I'm not gonna go through it in the video. The head of the DOJ, right? Look up his name. Look how much he gets paid. Um, he's obviously connected in the White House. Obviously connected to Donald Trump. He's obviously connected to very powerful people that of the administration right now. So let me know if y'all believe him. You know, do I believe any of the victims' well-being is really being cared about, or past well-being? I don't believe that, not one bit. It's definitely protect each other. It's a boys' club, for lack of a better words, allegedly, but they're gonna have each other's backs, just like think of it as like a fraternity, right? It's just a fraternity of powerful people that protect each other, have money, power, and influence over the whole world. So, you know, allegedly.
It's not true. That was never the case. We are always concerned about the victims.
But some of Epstein's victims now furious, saying many of their names were left unredacted and exposed in this latest release. Epstein survivor Charlene Rochard tonight telling me she is, quote, completely disappointed with the Justice Department.
I have absolutely no faith in this justice system at this point. The DOJ is not taking care in survivors at all. They're not considering us.
And with now the bipartisan lawmakers who pushed for the release of the Epstein files are raising questions about the 3 million pages of records the Department of Justice did not release. They're now asking for an in-person briefing to review the full files. Whit.
Olivia Rubin for us tonight. And tune into This Week tomorrow morning. George Stephanopoulos speaks with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche about the release of the Epstein files.
Who's training?
So that's who it is. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Look him up. Look how much he makes and stuff like that, and see if he's compromised, allegedly. I'm not going to do it in this video, but y'all could do that. Let's read some of these comments as well. So, one comment says, what fallout? Literally nothing has happened to any of them. Arrest them all. If our system will be burned down by the release of these files, it deserves to be burned down. Arrest them all. They all need to be locked up together and throw away the key. That's not a woman. That's a kid. Criminals policing themselves. What a farce. One set of laws for us and another set for them. Imagine what was not released. And it's half of the and it's half the document. Zero accountability for unnamed criminals implicated. There's no real fallout until some of these rich assholes are in prison. Man, man, man. Uh, well, good luck with that. They run everything. You think they're gonna arrest themselves? You know. But it is what it is. So we got Bill Gates, right? He allegedly caught a STD, then asked for antibiotics to secretly give to his wife Melinda. The bombshell claims appear in what are described as screenshots of 2013 self-emails written by Jeffrey Epstein. The allegations have not been verified and are heavily disputed by context and prior denials from Bill Gates. According to the documents, Epstein wrote a lengthy message to himself on July 18th, lashing out at Gates for ending their relationship. In one passage, Epstein allegedly wrote to add insult to injury, "You, them." What the hell is it? Why is they writing like this? "You, them, sick, implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. I cannot believe that you have chosen to both disregard and discard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I am aware that accidents happen. It is how each of us has chosen to deal with this unfortunate event that has me dismayed beyond comprehension. You have decided to discharge me from my job. Had Larry, your person, tell me that I engaged in morally inappropriate behavior, and then asked me to be the major actor in a cover up so that you can maintain the reputation that you have worked so hard to achieve. Shortly after my critical eye operation, I spent my day having your emails read to me so as not to miss a beat. When I could see out of one eye, my first task was to correct my vision in the one eye that I could read them myself. I assumed the dedication to our relation ran both ways. Larry has now asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement and have categorically told me that you were of the firm mind that we should no longer have any direct ongoing business relationship. I'm not going to read the whole thing, and I'm reading it slow like that so everybody can understand what I'm saying on the video and making sure I understand what it says as well. But, they already pretty much summarized it. So Bill Gates, you out here, old man getting STDs and then giving it to your wife, you heard, and not even telling her, like allegedly, you know, allegedly. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis. Yo, Epstein said he'd been dismayed beyond comprehension by Gates' decision. The files further suggest the emails may have been drafts of a letter intended to be sent by Gates. Another message written as if from Nikolic's perspective alleged he has been pulled into a marital dispute between the couple. In that email, Epstein allegedly wrote, "I have been caught up in a severe marital dispute between Melinda and Bill. That's why all this fake shit, man. Like, what is this fake ass shit with everybody? Like, all of this stuff, like even marriage, right, is man made, bro. You telling me you can't have a child with the woman, right, without being married? Like, I don't like. It's just everything they sold to us. Is they selling this shit to y'all, yo? They selling y'all to get married. Like they telling you, it's like a brainwash thing, bro. I feel like you can be in love with somebody without getting married. You can have babies with somebody without getting married. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, it's just people have like, they want their life to be a perception or microcosm of what they see on TV and what they see on what life is sold to you as, and what they see as the American dream, and what they see as is all bullshit, y'all. He's married. He's a billionaire. He's still cheating. He's still chilling with Jeffrey Epstein. He's still like it's just bullshit, bro. It's shit. This whole this whole shit is bullshit, bro. This whole system we're in, this whole life we're forced to go through and forced to deal with is a bunch of bullshit. Being completely honest. In my role as his right hand man, I have been asked and wrongly accused, acquiesced, and wrongly acquiesced into participating in things that have ranged from the morally inappropriate. If something, you see, even the way they type is weird. Like it says, range and have ranged from the morally inappropriate. Wouldn't it be if it's something is ranged, it would be and have ranged from morally inappropriate to outright despicable. That's a range. They even type weird, but then they try to sound so smart. Like all of these people, right? Even these people that are so smart they're so dumb at the same time. Why are you guys emailing each other any of this type of information? That's what I don't understand. What are you guys emailing any of this type of information? Like this shit is so weird. To the there's the rest of it. To the ethically unsound and have been repeatedly asked to do things blank that get near and potentially over the line into the illegal. From helping Bill to get his drug in order to deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls, to facilitating his illicit trust with married women. And these motherfuckers is just old, bro. These are some old farts. Like these dudes are old, like extremely old dudes doing this shit, bro. That's why I never like. I'm just over it, bro. You gotta have fun and enjoy your life. And I'm just over all of this bullshit. Have fun, enjoy your life, do what you want to do, man. Cause these motherfuckers is out here doing whatever. Cause they have power, influence, and money. To being asked to provide Adderall, Pro, bridge tournaments, as I am a medical doctor but have no prescriptions, writing ability. None of the claims have been substantiated.
Today, we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. In total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in compliance with the Act. Just a quick note about the videos and images. The 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are not all videos.
Just like the suit shit too. Like they say, oh, being in a suit is way more professional. Bro, these motherfuckers is in suits and they still downright dirty scoundrels. Downright dirty scoundrels. It don't mean nothing. All of this shit don't. It's all bullshit. Like it's just pissing me off how much the world is bullshit. How much we conform. How much we like. We just gotta conform to everything, and it's just annoying.
And images taken by Mr. Epstein or someone around him. They include large quantities of commercial pornography and images that were seized from Epstein's devices, but which he did not take or that someone around him did not take. Some of the videos, though, and some of the images do appear to be taken by Mr. Epstein or by others around him. I want to address what we didn't produce. The categories of documents withheld include those permitted under the Act to be withheld: files that contain personally identifiable information of victims or victims' personal and medical files, and similar files, the disclosure of which would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was
Bro, bro, bro. They knew about all this shit, bro. Like all these, like this. Uh,
obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced. Although the Act allows for withholding for items necessary to keep secret in the interest of national security or foreign policy, no files are being withheld or redacted on that basis. I want to talk for just a moment about the redactions that will be obvious to anyone who reviews the materials that we just produced today. In addition to the documentary redactions, which includes personal identifying information, victim information, and other privileges, there is extensive redactions to images and videos. To protect victims, we redacted every woman depicted in any image or video, with the exception of Ms. Maxwell. We did not redact images of any men, unless it was impossible to redact the woman without also redacting the man. Today's release marks the end of a very comprehensive document identification and review process to ensure transparency to the American people and compliance with the Act. The department has engaged in an unprecedented and extensive effort to do so. After submitting the final report to Congress as required under the Act and publishing the written justifications for redactions in the Federal Register, the department's obligations under the Act will be completed.
yo, so some of the stuff redacted in the Epstein files are C corn, C corn. We just gonna call it C corn. Images of abuse or victim harm, and they say they could redact things on the basis of national security, things like that, but nothing like that was redacted. And I'm at a point where it's just like you can't trust any of these people, bro. You just can't. It's just you can't. You can't trust any of these people, like because everyone has a price. Everyone can be bought. The fact that this was known about for years and years and years, like over 10 years, over 10 years, even before that, because all of these celebrities knew how these people get down. All of these upper echelon politicians, all of these upper echelon people know how these people get down, yet it's never exposed. Out of fear, which I understand, out of fear for your life, your family, your livelihood, which is understandable. I understand the fear there. And out of fear that these people are more powerful than you, which they are. But Now it's at a breaking point. Now it's at a point where, like I said, Babylon is falling. And we're at a point of immense pressure in this nation. But we're also at a very, very revealing point in the history of this country, because we see this, even with all of this information out, there's still people protecting certain politicians. There's still people siding with these certain politicians. And I'm not even talking about upper echelon people. I'm talking about regular, average, everyday Americans. Like there's literally people still siding and protecting and and holding up the name of certain politicians for the sake of Republican versus liberal. Like the shit still matters. Like it's really mind boggling me. That's what I mean when I say have a brain of your own and be able to have critical thinking skills. A lot of these people, like a lot of people, don't have that, and I can't have conversations with these type of people. I'm at that point in my life where I can't have conversations with people without critical thinking skills, or people without at least regarding these type of topics. You know what I mean? I just don't want to have those type of conversations or these types of conversations with people like that, because it gets to a point where it's like you realize there's regular, average, everyday Americans and people that are just like these people and are just as complicit in the actions of these people that they're claiming to be against. But let's go on to the next video. So some of these are just photos released. I think these are, I don't know when these came out. It doesn't say a date. Let's just watch. 68 new photographs released. I don't think they're gonna show all 68 here. What the hell? Look at this. Look at this. Nah, these motherfuckers is freaky. A, a pussy pump. I will send you girls now. I don't know. Try to send someone else. I have a friend, Scout. She sent me some girls today, but she asked $1,000 per girl. I will send you girls now. Maybe some will be good, Jay. Good for Jay. I don't know who Jay is. So 18 years old, height, da da da. So Diddy was locked up for sex trafficking, but these people are sex trafficking on a much larger scale, doing way worse. She was Polly at school, and the person's body with quotes from the novel Lolita. She was Lola in slacks. She was low, plain low, in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock. Former Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon. They're all connected, bro. Allegedly. That's hours ahead of the Department of Justice's scheduled release. Trump condom 450. These new photos are fueling debate over one of the most high profile sexual scandals in history. Hey, this stuff is quite literally giving me a headache. And I'm just saying allegedly to protect my ass. I know since there's proof and all of this stuff and there's video evidence and stuff like that, that most of this stuff is true, bro. Most of these people are connected. Most of these people were doing things. And a lot of old videos are now resurfacing since the Epstein videos. Well, the Epstein files have been released. Well, more pages of the Epstein files have been released. A lot of old videos are resurfacing. This is for a 2009 video. A 21-year-old Gabriela Rico Jimenez was filmed after claiming she had attended an exclusive elite party. She vanished that night, never to be seen again.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada.
He's saying
Que había
discussing they
otros
ain't humans.
asesinos.
I mean, bro, like, I really feel like I'm just not surprised by any of this, to be honest. Because it's like, this is allegedly too, you know. She could just be crazy. But like I said, if you got critical thinking skills, you got your own brain. And you've heard these rumors before. This is not like none of these things are new. That's the thing. And if you just take time to look back and learn your history on these things. They used to eat black people. Like even slave masters and slave owners and shit like that. They used to eat black people and eat black babies and feed black babies to alligators and shit like that. So shit like this is like it's not it doesn't seem shocking to me that this could be a possibility. That's all I'll say. Now, but it's still alleged. There's no proof to this. There's no evidence that we could see with our own two eyes of this. But things are not a coincidence after like 10 times of the same thing being said by multiple people.
¡Pero que habían comido humanos! ¡Humanos! ¡Fue la carne humana!
And she was vanished after that. So this is an old video resurfacing. You know, it's a very old video. I remember seeing this video years ago. And it's also just popping up on TikTok a lot now because the Epstein files have released more pages, things of that nature. Um, you like I said, this is all alleged. I'm not making any of these claims. I'm just reading what's online, responding to what's online. So this is another video that has been resurfacing since the Epstein files. So this was a video, right? This is from 2018, if I'm not mistaken, right? This man, he was talking about um Diddy, you know, he was talking about Diddy and other celebrities. I think it was like DJ Khaled or Rick Ross, right? So this video has been resurfacing as well. And like I said, everything is all connected, bro. Like all of these, it's just everything is connected. All of the celebrities, the powerful people, the influential people are all connected. So even because who else was mentioned in the files? It was Jay-Z and Pusha T was also mentioned in the files. I'm gonna see how they were mentioned after this video, but let's watch this video because it has been resurfacing as well.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Cause what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
This is an old police interrogation video. And then why would he shoot up Trump's golf course? That's another thing. It's like allegedly, bro. Trump allegedly has nothing to do with any of this stuff, but his name is always being brought up throughout the files, throughout all of these weird dealings with certain things. Like I said, if you got any critical thinking skills, you know. And you know what I think? It's just all of these people thought nothing would happen, right? Because they're so powerful. But like I said, all great empires crumble the same way through money, greed, and sexual exploitation. All great empires crumble the same way through money, greed, and sexual exploitation. You can add war into there as well, but war is under money and greed. You know what I'm saying? You could just put war under money and greed, unless that's sexual exploitation. So, like I said, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Holy Roman Empire. There's other um ancient civilizations that are powerful that crumble to these things as well, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But America is one of them. It's the same similarities. Sodom and Gomorrah has the same similarities to America. Babylon, a lot of similarities to America. The Holy Roman Empire, a lot of similarities to America. So this scandal is basically a big PDF file ring. You know what I'm saying? And say with Sodom and Gomorrah it was more of a homosexual type of ring. Same thing with Sodom and Gomorrah, more of a homosexual type of ring. But just because it's not being exposed in these files doesn't mean that that's not a part of it as well. I believe all types of very lewd and extreme sexual acts are going on behind closed doors amongst these elites, whether it be bestiality, PDF file activities, um, necrophiliac type of activities, um, adrenochrome, the devouring of people type of activities, sacrificial ritual type of activity. I think all of these are all happening within our nation, whether it be behind closed doors or in public, where they make it look like it's a different type of thing happening as well. So what I'll say is America will crumble just because it's spiritual just as much as it's financial establishment and law and all of the things that we can actually contextualize. It's a lot of non-contextualized things that will make America crumble. Things we can't see, we can't feel, we can't touch, we can't even imagine or fathom in our brains are things that will make America crumble as well. Just because the spiritual factor of the universe and the world, like people don't believe in karma. America's getting this karma, basically. And elites are going to get their karma. And the people that deal with these type of things are going to get their karma in one way, shape, form, or another. You know what I'm saying? So that's my belief. And we're starting to see like one aspect of it in real time.
Clinton have both agreed to give depositions in the Jeffrey Epstein probe. House GOP members argued they were defying a congressional subpoena. Bill Clinton has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, the DOJ says it has removed all documents flagged by Epstein's victims' attorneys. They say the DOJ failed to redact victims' personal information, exposing nearly 100 survivors to harassment, threats, and renewed trauma.
At this point, we're feeling this is extremely intentional and it's very harmful, and this is not what we meant when we said we wanted transparency.
The New York Times reports the DOJ published dozens of unredacted nude images, some who appeared to be young. It's not clear if they were minors. Those have also been removed.
But like
We
I
have some
said,
breaking news. Bill
they
and
all
Hillary
turning on
Clinton
each other.
have both just agreed to testify in the House Oversight Committee's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Days before, the House was expected to vote to hold them in criminal contempt of Congress. Meanwhile, MS Now has been poring over the 3 million new Epstein documents the Justice Department released on Friday. An initial review found that more than 40 known or suspected survivors' identities were revealed in that release. Those files have since been removed, but survivors say that the damage has already been done.
You get that rush, right? That feeling that's like, oh, that shame tingles feeling of like, I feel like I want to throw up because it's just all out there for the world to see. But for my survivor sisters who are not public and for those Jane Does, it's absolutely devastating and heartbreaking to see.
Joining us now, the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California.
Bill Clinton's spokesperson put out a statement on the Clintons agreeing to testify before the House Oversight Committee. This is new tonight. I want to read a portion of it to you. Quote, "They told you under oath what they know, but you don't care. But the former president and former secretary of state will be there. They look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone." I think that's very important. So, one, your comments on the fact that the Clintons have now agreed to testify, and two, to the point that the President Clinton spokesperson makes, will there be others?
Look, I think first I want to just be clear. We have said it from day one. Oversight Democrats have said it from the beginning that we want anyone that has any information about Jeffrey Epstein to testify, and that includes President Clinton. Obviously, there was a relationship. I think President Clinton has been very clear in public statements about what his relationship was, but I think there are important questions that should be answered. And at the same time, we should recognize that James Comer is also obviously focused on anyone that Donald.
Like I said, this is the Spider-Man meme all over again. They all point fingers at each other. Clinton is going to testify now, right? But Clinton was clearly a part of them files, allegedly, say let's put allegedly out there because I don't want to get no lawsuits or anything. Or I'm not even that big of a creator. They probably just not even going to see the shit, which most likely is going to happen. But like I said, all of this stuff is literally just the Spider-Man meme. They all point fingers at each other. Democrats, Republicans. They were when they was all doing the same shit. He was all in these parties. They all knew Jeffrey Epstein. They all wanted to be around Epstein. So I mean, it is what it is, and there's no changing it. It already happened, and do I think it will continue to happen? Yeah, because the reason I feel like this is going to continue to happen because people are all worried about their own lives. Like the regular, average, everyday American citizen, right? They're gonna keep going to work. They're gonna keep getting their paychecks. They're gonna keep living their lives. They're not gonna be worried about things like this. So if they're not worried about things like this, and even if they are worried about it, right? Like, see, like me, right? I have a lot of things I got to deal with in my life. I'm worried about it to an extent where I could talk about it and get content off of it and boost up my own platform and things of that nature. But am I worried about it to a point where I'm about to be out there marching and freaking going to protest and showing up to congressional hearings and showing up to court dates and showing up to all of these things? No. There's no way, shape, there's no way, shape, or form am I going to be showing up to any of these type of things because just a waste of my time. You feel me? But I can't get content off of it. I can make a whole bunch of videos in one day on it if I want to. But I think this is the only video I'm gonna make for right now because I noticed with political content on YouTube, especially if you're a small creator, which I am right now, it's hit or miss. Like my biggest political video is on Vivek Ramaswamy, right? That's my biggest political video. I'm gonna put it as my end card on this video. I have it private right now for certain reasons. I was like going through certain personal things where it's like I'm applying for certain things and I just don't want that to be seen. But I'm gonna let it be seen. It's one of my biggest videos on my channel. So I'm gonna let it be seen. Just let it be talked about, things of that nature. But and then notice a lot of these people are claim to be religious, right? A lot of these politicians, they claim to be religious people. They claim to be God fearing people. I got a wife. I got a wife. We live a happy life and they're so fancy and so snooty and look at the type of shit they're doing. This is why I don't like none of that bullshit. I don't like none of that. It's just we're all acting in this country. That's the problem. We're all acting. None of it's real. And then the ones that's not allowed to act is at the highest position, right? Like Trump can say whatever the fuck he wants to say, but he's the president of the United States. Like I'm expected to be more cordial, more proper, more of an upstanding man than the president of our country, which is absolutely insane, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm gonna stop this video right here. Let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all think about the E files. We're gonna call them. Let's see the E files. You know what those stand for. The Mr. Epstein files. But let me know what y'all think about them. Let me know what you think about our politicians. Let me know what you think about our president. Let me know what you think about his regime right now. Let me know what you think about this administration right now. Let me know if you think it doesn't matter which administration we have, everyone is corrupt. Do you think everyone's corrupt? Let me know just how you feel about all of this going on and all of this being talked about right now at this time in American history. And remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Remember to keep watching my videos. I will be dropping new music soon. Remember to stay tuned for that. My music channel is Nietzsche Falcone. Nietzsche Falcone. That is my artist name. So remember to check that out. And peace. There's gonna be more files released. There's more files to be released, and when they are released, I will talk about them. I was gonna save this video for the end of the month, but by that time, nobody will really care because how fast our news cycle is in this world, and we have 24-hour news coverage in this world. So I had to talk about it pretty much as soon as it came out. And it came out like 2 days ago, right? Where this is currently me recording this is on February 2nd, 2026. I believe these were released on the 31st. I believe, but I could be wrong. But like I said, remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Peace. It's your boy Nietzsche Falcone.